Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Hello. So today we're just back to the kitchen after like 3 weeks not doing anything on live stream. We are back today making something quick one. So today we are going to be making uziza soup and hash soup together. When I mean together, we'll be cooking both of them at the same time. So here, what I'm trying to do here is simply to parboil the chicken because eventually I'm going to be moving things around this spot and this spot. So we are cooking two things together today. Right now, in the next 1 hour, we should be done. So thank you everyone that joined us today, that will join us and hopefully watch later. This is a Kenneth Ezindu's kitchen, back to the kitchen again on live stream after some time. We are back live now every weekend, hopefully, and we'll continue to come live. So please invite your friends to join us. I'm not sure if I should expect people to join today, but since today is the first day after a very long time, hopefully, if I get some people join us, that would be great. Otherwise, come back later and watch. So right now, what we are making is oha soup and oziza soup, and I want to do some kind of quick introduction to uziza soup and oha soup. Sometimes, as I would call us content creators, when we talk about, sometimes we make uziza soup, sometimes we make oha soup, sometimes we make all kinds of soup. But the secret of making all but is some particular kind of soup is that it takes the same process to making that soup from beginning to almost the end before we talk about other things to do. So that was why I said I'm making oha soup and uziza soup together today. And that's for a reason, because to make the uziza soup and oha soup, the secret to making it is this. It takes the same process to make both soup from beginning to almost 90 to 95% of conclusion before anything changes. So right now, what I'm going to do simply is to divide the chicken and allow it to keep cooking separately while I also make the soup. And while I'm doing it, I will talk about exactly things I'm adding so you know exactly everything that goes into making oha soup here are the things that will still go into making uziza soup here. But my oha soup is going to be a little bit more. Oloa Omaka, thank you so much for joining us. Omamanda see chicken, oh, I want your, well, that's chicken. But what I'm saying is that for this, well, I should say this now. So for this particular soup, oha soup and uziza soup, I'm using basically chicken all through. So what I'm gonna do now is I just ate or had soup yesterday and it's something else. Okay, good to know, Lua Omaka. Thanks so much. So I will move some of the chicken here now to this smaller pot, to cook oziza soup while I continue making oha soup here. And like what I was saying before is everything, 100% of everything it takes to cook oha soup is actually what you need to cook oziza soup. The difference basically is the leaf you add. The leaf you add to making oha soup is what gives it that good taste of oha soup. And now the leaf you add making oziza soup is also what gives it that oziza taste. Otherwise, the process is 100% the same thing. So let me just take my time and introduce everything I'm going to be using today. Today we'll basically be using, let me just bring them up. I've washed them already. This is my stock fish. I've washed it very well and I'm going to open it up. For this stock fish, you guys are looking at, I'm going to be, is the head of stock fish. I'm going to be dividing it into two, one for the hot soup and one for the uziza soup. And also for this dry fish, which I've washed, I'm just going to wash it more. I'm going to be dividing it into two, one for hot soup and one for uziza soup. The same thing also boils down to the crayfish I'm going to be using. If I blend crayfish, I will pour some here, the same thing. There's no difference. What makes the difference is the leaf, the vegetable you are using to cook. That is basically what makes the difference. And that is because I don't want to spend too much time in the kitchen cooking two things, cooking two kinds of soup that will basically take the same process. So I chose to do both of them at the same time and then show you guys. So let's divide it quickly and then get started. In the next 1 hour or less than that, we should be good to go. So for those that like chicken, this is the kind of soup you want to have. If you like chicken in your hot soup, or if you like chicken in your what is that soup, or if you like chicken generally, this is the kind of soup you want to try. Trust me, you will like it. So the uziza soup is going to be very small. I'm cooking mainly oha soup. So I'm also here, if you can see, I have lots of gizzard in it. So gizzard is also part of the chicken or protein, I would say, I'm using. So this is actually enough for the uziza soup. Like I said, my main focus now here is oha soup, not really uziza soup. Uziza soup is going to be small, and I think that's enough. So I've divided it now. Here I'm cooking oha soup, uziza soup. Here I'm cooking oha soup. Next I want to do is to remove part of the water and pour in here, which would take, it's not going to take much time, but I will see how I can do it. Yeah, okay, I've got something to use to do that. So to take the water out, I'm just going to be scooping some water from here to this point. Again, like I said, this is uziza soup going on here. If you want to make this kind of soup at the same time, I mean, if you have such time anyway, this is probably the steps you will take to make it. I'm dividing this water, chicken stock for a reason. I don't want the chicken stock only in oha soup. I want it in uziza soup too. So just want to make sure they are all the same while this one starts cooking. So yeah, I think we are good to go now. To start with, look at this thing, guys. This is a palm shaft. If you want to know what I have here, remember to invite your friends to join us. Join us back after a long vacation. I'm back to the kitchen, doing what I know how to do best, cooking. And this is actually palm nut. This is what I normally, if you're making oha soup, it's always good you use this one. This is palm nut that has not been like extracted. It has the nuts there, it has the shaft there, it has everything in it. So count me in. Adesulu. Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Remember to share my videos, and please come back, and if you have to go and come back, that would be appreciated. So what I'll be doing right now is to sieve out the palm paste from this shaft, as you guys can see. Maybe I'll just show you what it looks like before I continue. I will just use something else to show you what it looks like. Okay. So remember, chicken is not yet well cooked, it's still cooking. So I'm taking my time to make sure it cooks really good. The good thing about making oha soup, I have always said it many times.
Is the soup ready?
Maybe the soup is not ready, okay?
I can wear the mask.
Okay, why do I have to wear it?
Because it's smelly on here.
Okay, but I'm cooking soup. Okay. Anyway, this is, I'm just bringing out the palm paste now. So this is what the palm paste looks like. I'll just bring out some and show you guys, then I'll put the rest in the pot. So when I say palm paste, this is what I'm talking about. It still has the shaft. If you notice, it still has it. This is how we get it in this part of the world, where you, even if you happen to see it at all. So it still has the shaft, and I'll work on it myself to extract it. So I've boiled water already that I'm going to use to extract it. I will just quickly put some water here. it looks a bit blocked. So with this water, it will get a little bit easier to just kind of bring it out from here. Remember, if you don't have pan paste, use your pan. If you don't have this pan paste, remember this is pan paste. Just for those that want to know. Oh, now this is what I don't like. For those that want to know, this is pan paste. I will quickly open it to show you guys. So yeah, so this is pan paste. This is pan paste. I have this one to use, and I have the shaft to use also, like this, the one that has the shaft. So if you have this one to extract the pan paste yourself, better. If you don't have this one, get the pan paste. You don't have to extract anything from this one. So now, because this goes for this is going for oha soup. Let's finish with this one. Then we'll come to this one. So I want to just extract all this quickly, even though it still looks a bit blocked, but I'm pretty sure it will come out. For those that want to know, this is pan paste, like I said before, part with shaft. Just watch me hard. I'm trying to bring it out from the inside, so that it should be easier for me to just extract. But it looks as if it's still a bit blocked, which I'm trying to help it out to come out quickly. But if it doesn't, we might just focus on this one first. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying my best to bring it out from here, and then put it in the pot to extract it. For everyone that joined us today, this is Ekena of Ezindu's Kitchen. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate every one of you for joining. And we are making oha soup. And at the same time, we are making uziza soup also. And we are using the same time to make both of them, so we don't have to spend so much time in the kitchen. So the time here, oha soup is going on, and here uziza soup is going on. I'm cooking uziza soup at the same time. So that is what is happening right now. I'm just trying to extract the pan paste for the oha soup. Hopefully it will work this time. I don't know, but let's see. Yeah, I think it's gonna work this time around. Yeah, it worked this time. I'm trying my best to make it work. Yeah, I think this is it. The pan paste I'm talking about, just removing everything now. Yeah, it's all done now. So I have all the pan paste out. As you guys can see, all the pan paste is out. I'm just going to rinse this quickly. Before I pour it inside, look at what I'm talking about. I don't want to use, this is the pan paste, as you can see. This is how we get it here in Canada, the pan paste we need for it. You can see that, right? So we will extract it right now with hot water, of course. So I'm going to just give it a quick turn. Pour some hot water there. If you're using palm nut, it's always advisable you use hot water to extract the pan paste. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Hopefully I'll do it fast and pour it here. Once I pour it there, it will take less than, say, 30 minutes or thereabout to finish making the soup. For the meantime, I'm going to pour this one in here too. While I leave this one here, I'll put some water and continue with this one. This one is boiling already. So let's grab spoon and put pan paste in the uziza soup. We're not going to use everything, definitely, it will be too much. So when I put this now, I'm going to add some more water in it to keep cooking well. Get some water, pour water in it. Yeah, give me a second, guys. So I'm pouring some more water here just to turn it. Remember, like I said before, the same process it takes to cook oha soup is what it takes to cook uziza soup. So I can as well move my spoon, my spatula around until at least I add the leaves. Before I add the leaves, I can move my spatula around as much as I want to. So you know there's no big difference in terms of why would you want to move your spatula around or something. Yes, you can move it around as much as you want. You can move it around as much as you want because the uziza soup and oha soup is nearly the same thing. So this should boil. Once this starts boiling, we should all be good to go. So this will boil once it gets to boiling point, and then we'll do something else. Now, what we're going to do right now is to finish up with extracting palm paste from this one. So I have done my palm paste, is ready. But because I don't want to pour it direct, I want to extract it first. In this plate, I will extract it here first before I pour it here to be sure I'm not putting in some shaft in it. So this is my palm paste. As you guys can see, pour it here. Remember, it's palm paste. This is the shaft. If you remember, this is the shaft I said. This is the shaft. So I'm going to turn this one in first. I'm going to turn it in here to the oha soup first. Yeah, this is going well. I will probably add some more palm paste there and see how it goes. For now, I'll use more warm water to extract the last part of the palm paste from the shaft. And then we'll continue. So once you add all this, you are almost done with. Once you add the palm shaft, the next is you add your spices, your pepper, everything you're using. That is the next thing that will go in. So I'm done with this one right now. So for the oha soup, this is it. If you look at the oha soup right now, it looks as if the oil is not showing that it's not very colorful. But at this point, I can then choose to add some of this, just to make sure it's a little bit more colorful as expected. This one is palm paste. Remember I've said before, palm paste. So once this boils, once I'm done with this now, the next thing I'm going to do, of course, is like put my pepper, put my stockfish, allow all of them to keep cooking at the same time. So you guys know I have a small kitchen, so I'm trying to manage the space. Now this is oha soup that will start cooking. I will watch it and see if there is need to add some more oil, but I don't really need much of oil in my oha soup. so long as it's colorful enough. But let's leave it now. And the next I'm going to do is to rinse my fish once again. I've washed the fish earlier, but let me rinse it again. And if you guys remember, I said whatever the secret is that whatever you're adding to your hot soup, add it to your uziza soup. That's the secret. There's no difference. The difference between uziza soup and a hot soup, I say it again, is towards the end of your cooking where you add the leaf. It's actually the leaf that makes a difference when it comes to when it comes to or hot soup or uziza soup. The leaf brings the taste you're looking for, but before before you add the vegetable, it remains the same thing. So right now I'm just looking at how to cut my fish. One here, and because this soup is bigger, the hot soup is bigger, I probably might add some more than the other one. So I have this one here, I have this one here. I'll put the rest of my hot soup. Also, I've washed my stockfish. Once you wash your stockfish, even though I didn't break it when I washed it, it's a very neat, very neat stockfish. But I'm going to break it right now. If you guys can see, I'm using head of stockfish. So I'm going to break it into two and give it one more rinse. Or maybe not into two because the hot soup is a little bit bigger, right? So maybe not into two. So we have this. Oh my God. I'm dividing it into two now. So this will go into my uziza soup, and this will go into my hot soup. So this one I would say I think is too much actually for the uziza soup. It's too much. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like this. This one I will add to my uziza soup. This one I'll add to my uziza soup. I'll add it to my uziza soup. So this is almost nearing complete. Then my hot soup, I'm going to raise this one more. I don't want to confuse us here while I'm making this, but I just want to what I'm trying to achieve here is to tell you that whether it's called uziza soup, whether it's called or hot soup, the process is the same until it gets to that point of adding your leaf, the vegetable. That is what I'm trying to achieve by cooking two kinds of soup. So I'm not doing anything differently. Rather, it's just add some here of the same thing. So right now my stockfish will go into this one. I think I'll just add some more. I will add some more to the hot soup, to the uziza soup. I said sorry, and then wash the rest or rinse the rest rather, and add to my hot soup. So now we are nearing almost close to the end of the cooking, but we have to follow the process. Now this is done. What we're going to do now is to allow this one to continue cooking. At this point, I'll add some salt and then prepare the crayfish and everything to add. I'm going to blend it and then share it. I'll add some salt here and add some salt here. So now we go ahead and continue cooking. For this one, I've got all my crayfish here intact. Let me show you guys the crayfish I'm using. Meanwhile, I am done with the shaft, so I'm taking out all this now. I'm done with all this. I don't need it again. So hello, Jacinta. Jacinta, what am I cooking? I'm cooking two kinds of soup, Jacinta. I'm cooking oha soup, and I'm making also uziza soup. And one of the reasons I said I wanted to make both of them together is the process of making both oha soup and uziza soup is the same. until it gets to the point where when you want to add your leaf, the leaf. That is the difference. So yeah, that is why I said I want to do it this way. So this is the hot soup cooking here, and this is uziza soup cooking here. I want to be careful with this so it doesn't spill out. But let's keep going. Right now, it's time to add my crayfish. So I want to show you guys the I want to show you guys the crayfish and the quantity of the crayfish I will use. So for the crayfish, I have, I've always said crayfish is the soul of every soup you're cooking. I'm going to close this up a bit. Crayfish is the soul of every soup you're cooking, particularly if the soup has to do with southeastern of Nigeria kind of soup. Crayfish is always the soul of that cooking. Once you have enough crayfish there, you are covered. So long as you know how to apply other things that is needed. Now, this is one of these crayfish that I bought. This one goes for the hot soup, and I'm going to pour it here. So this goes for the hot soup. This one, and after once I pour this one in, this is one. And of course, like you guys know, I am cooking two kinds of soup. I will put this one also. So two parts of crayfish there. I might not put everything. In fact, I'm going to add everything. It's okay. This is the crayfish I'm using for the two soup. This is the crayfish. And because I want to blend once and for all, I want to blend things once and for all. I'm going to add uziza here. Both uziza seed can go into the uziza soup and can go into the hot soup. So let's add some uziza seed here. I've added some uziza seed here. Actually, maybe I should add everything actually, because it's not very spicy. So the next time I'm going to add, I have my Cameroon pepper here already, which is blended. So I have my Cameroon pepper, so I'm good to go. So what I'm going to do now is to blend this completely. Let me get the pepper out of the way. The plates are becoming too much, so I want to create some space. Since I have a small kitchen, I'll continue to create space as I go. So if you want to just do this, I go. Okay, we'll just wait, okay? So right now I'm just getting some things out of the way, and almost done with getting things out of the way. Now what I'm going to do now is to blend my pepper, or to blend my crayfish. And to do this, I will get my blender close. I'll get my blender close by. I'm going to add some water to this to the crayfish before I blend it. So right now, let's blend the crayfish all together. I probably might add some more. What I don't know, but let's see. So what I'm blending here right now is just crayfish only crayfish and crayfish and black pepper. That's what I'm blending here right now, and we just do it this way. Take it on, set the blender, and blend it quickly. So easy to do. Everyone that joined us today, thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. So I'm done blending the crayfish and of course the black pepper. That is uziza. The seed. For those that want to know, when I mention uziza, I'm talking about the seed. Otherwise, this is uziza soup I'm cooking here. But you can also use a blend of uziza seed and the leaf when you are making oha. But for this particular soup I'm making, I don't want to put uziza leaf in my oha. I will only put the seed, and this is seed and of course crayfish going in here, and then I'll put some crayfish here too. You see, the process is the same thing, basically no difference. It gets to be a difference when you're adding the leaf. This is it. You see, we are almost nearing the end of the cooking. I will put this one aside now. So I will return my blender back to base. I brought this fish, I roasted this fish for a reason. I want to put this fish, I roasted it myself with my air fryer. So I'm using this fish for my oha soup. Sometimes when you roast mackerel fish and put in your oha soup, it adds some really good flavor to the oha soup. That is why I roasted it. Otherwise, it's not so important, but I want to add some really good flavor of roasted fish to the oha soup, not to the uziza soup. I don't mean uziza soup, just the oha soup alone. So, but right now, the next thing I'm going to add, of course, is pepper. You guys can see both this is open, this is open. Again, I can move my spoon around or my spatula around because it is the same. Everything I have is what I have here. The taste will not change until towards the end of my cooking. Just remember that. So right now I put my I'm gonna add my Cameroon pepper. I love pepper a lot, so I'm adding my pepper. I'm gonna add some more pepper here. If you have fresh habanero pepper, it's also good you add it. It adds some more flavor, definitely. And I have my ogiri here. Before I close it, I just want to add my ogiri all at the same time. I have my ogiri here. I hope I can get it out. Okay, yeah, I can get it out. So this is my ogiri. For those that doesn't, where's my spoon? Maybe I should just grab another spoon. Or maybe this stuff. For those that want to know, this is ogiri. Maybe I should show you guys. This is ogiri, kind of Iru, but this is the Igbo version of Iru, but not really Iru, I would say. Let's be honest with that. So this is ogiri going into the oha soup. If you don't have ogiri, yes, go with just your seasoning. That's okay. But of course, if you're cooking this in the village, you will definitely want to add ogiri. So I'm adding some. Uziza soup might not require ogiri per se, to be honest. If you don't want to add ogiri to uziza soup, you don't have to at all. But if you have it, make sure you add it in your oha soup. So I'm not going to add uziza soup to this. I'm not going to add ogiri to uziza soup, so you guys know. But it is not bad if you add it. So right now I will just give this a quick stir. Because I added my ogiri, I'm going to add it a quick stir, then add some seasoning. I'm going to add some seasoning and some water more. After that, we are done. The next thing that we're looking for adding will just be the leaf, which I will show you guys. So this is getting thick. And just add excuse me. So at this point, once you add your seasoning, you don't have to worry so much. I'm not sure why this is happening. Maybe it's from the ogiri or so. But now, what I'm going to add here now, and then we just do some kind of waiting game, is seasoning. Once I add my seasoning here, I'll bring out my yam. I'm going to be using yam for thickener, as my thickener. Oh God. I'm going to be using yam as my thickener. And by the time I'm done with that, you guys will see. So if once I add, let me just add this and then close the pot. So this is done for my offal. This is done now. Give it a quick stir, and we're all good to go. So give it a quick stir and just leave it to cook more. I'm not adding the fish yet. So we are good to go with this one now. So let's leave it to cook a bit for the uziza soup. Let's leave it and let's give it some more time to boil. Right now, for my thickener, I'm using poundo. Excuse me, guys. So my uziza soup, I'm using poundo. So I'm going to clear everything I have in my space and just leave only the poundo there. So I will clear everything I have in this space because I'm done with everything actually. I'll return my ogiri back to the freezer. Everything is going back to the freezer to have to create some space for me here. So if you're watching me, see how I try to maximize my kitchen. It's not big, but I have to maximize it. So I've not added any seasoning to this one. I'm going to add some more seasoning to the uziza soup right now. The thing about cooking uziza soup or even making oha is it requires a lot of spices. I would say this. This is not uziza soup. It requires a lot of spices when you're making uziza soup. If you love spices, add spices. There's a difference between adding seasoning and adding spices. I'm talking about adding spices, not adding seasoning. So yeah, we are good to go with this. Maybe I should just add one more and just add one more seasoning, just only 1 cube. Yeah, so this is good. Let's leave it to boil for some time, and we are set to start. We are set to finish our cooking. Our hot soup is cooking really good. What is left now, of course, is my oha, and of course, what again? I'm going to add this fish, but not now. So I will just clean up this fish first. I roasted this fish here. I'll just clean it up and see what it looks like. Okay, what will I use? Okay, I better use something else. So for those watching, I know it takes a lot of time to cook, guys. Definitely it takes a lot of time to cook. It's not easy to watch live stream cooking. I know that. It's not easy. But if you really, really want to learn how to cook, if you really, really want to know how to cook a particular meal or a particular food, if you can watch it on live stream, it will help you a little bit faster to learn how to cook that soup. So yeah, the steam is getting too much. I have to on my vents to take the steam out. So this is we're almost done. Almost done. For this one now, the roasted fish, I'm going to just remove the head, take my time, remove the head, and remove everything inside that I don't like. Everything inside that I don't like, I'm going to take my time to remove all of them. So this is one side of the fish, as you can see. This is one side of the fish. One side of the fish going into of the eyes. The roasted fish is going into the hot soup. And this other side, which I will bring out now. So this other side, I'm going to give it a quick wash. You can see this, the center bone. I don't need the center bone is out, so I'm going to give this one a quick wash. So one of the reasons I'm putting this fish here, I will tell you guys, one of the reasons I'm adding this roasted fish is to give the oha soup some flavor I'm looking for. Otherwise, the protein I'm using for the soup actually, the protein I'm using for the soup is what do you call it, is chicken all through. So at this point, I'm gonna put my I'm not, you can notice I'm not breaking the fish. It's still gonna break anyway. The fish is still gonna break. So I'm not really looking forward to seeing the roasted fish inside. I'm not looking forward to seeing it. I just want the flavor it will bring to the soup. So even if it breaks, and even if the ice fish, roasted fish break and scatter, that's okay. I don't need it. I just need the flavor it will bring to the soup. And that's exactly what I want to achieve. We are almost nearing the end of the cooking. So when I say I'm going to use poundo for my thickener, remember, if you're using poundo, you can pound it first. If you're using roasted, if you're using real yam, you can pound first. Or if you're using also, if you're using yam flour like this, like I'm using, you can also turn it into poundo first before you add. But for me, all I need to do is just to sprinkle it on it. It will still take in the soup. I don't have to go through, I don't have to add the process of make poundo and then cut them into bits. I just have to sprinkle all of them, because eventually I will remove all the remaining chunks of the poundo from both soup. I will remove it eventually. So this is uziza soup almost done cooking. I know you guys are not seeing this one very well, but it's almost done cooking and still sprinkling on my stove. So let's clean up a bit and then continue. So basically what we're doing now is waiting game. This is my oha leaf I'm going to use. Let's talk about this oha leaf a bit. I bought this oha leaf fresh. So the person that sold the oha leaf very fresh to me said, if you want to preserve the oha leaf, just put it in cut it how you want it, put in a Ziploc and add some water and freeze it. And that's exactly what I did. It still looked very green. And she said, when you want to use it, just drop it with the eyes in the soup. So I'm going to still drop this oha soup with the eyes in here. But not now. Let me just leave it first. And of course I have, excuse me, I have my uziza leaf here that I'm going to be using. I'm going to move this aside first. Let me show you guys the uziza leaf. So this is the uziza leaf I will use. I bought the uziza leaf here too. This is the uziza leaf I'm going to be using. Not so much of it though. So we are almost nearing the end of our cooking. I think in 15 minutes we should all be good to go. I'm going to just turn those leaf here to drain some water out. Otherwise, we are done almost. I think I finished actually in time. I thought it would take me much longer time than it took me, but I think we finished much in time. So this is the uziza leaf. If you want to see what it looks like, this is uziza leaf. Uziza leaf. So, but we're not adding that yet, or we can add it now if we want to. So right now I'm going to just clean my hands and then add my yam flour as my thickener. So, excuse me. So, okay, I'm gonna just add my feet because this oha leaf is frozen. I'm gonna add my oha leaf first so that it can start melting as quickly as possible. Remember, the oha leaf is frozen. If I want to retain the green color, I have to put it right. I have to freeze it, which is excuse me, which is exactly what I did, and we are almost done. Once this oha leaf melts now, I will know the amount of water I have here, and then we are all good to go. For this one, I think we should, I'm going to just get ready my uziza leaf first. I'm going to add both of them at the same time, definitely. Not much, very little. And 10 minutes, we are all good to go. So we are done with this one. What is left now is my thickener. So it is at this point that there is a difference between this soup, uziza soup, and of course the oha soup. At this point, the taste of this soup is different from the taste of this soup. So that is just basically the difference. Right now, also, I think I will just add some seasoning, not so much. Remember, I said you can make this into poundo before you add this. You can just sprinkle it like this, or you can just cut your yam into bits and put inside. It's up to you. There are various thickeners you can use for your soup. It's up to you how you want to thicken the soup. But because I have poundo, I chose to do it this way. Just make sure you don't add too much. So this is almost ready. Give it some minutes to cook more, and we are done with uziza soup. And then we are left with just this one. We are waiting for this oha to melt quickly. You can see it's very green, so the person that said I should freeze it that way is actually very correct. You can see how green the oha leaf is, so let's wait for the oha leaf a bit more. Otherwise, after this, we are practically done with everything we are doing. We are practically done with the cooking and everything. So we are done. I'm going to just start cleaning up quickly while we are just waiting to finish. I'm going to start cleaning up quickly, getting things out of the way. I'm removing this one back to the freezer like I said. So we are practically done with our cooking. So if you like egusi or oha soup, you can see how we are making this one. If you like uziza soup, you can see exactly how we are making it. And this is the end of, in the next 5 minutes, we should be done with everything we're doing here, all the cooking. So let me just start with the cleanup as quickly as possible. So if you're joining me now, if you join and watch later, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Ezindu's live streaming. Here, I basically try to cook soup as much as I want. And one thing I need to point out quickly here is this. I need to say it quickly. You can notice that sometimes I repeat the soup I cook here, and that is because it's my soup, is what I eat myself. So I just want to come and spend some time online, so I have to repeat what I cook. I mean, you will get to a point in your cooking where you must have cooked all kinds of soup, so you probably will not have anything to cook when it comes to soup again. But because I basically cook and store in the fridge for myself, it's a lot easier for me. It's a lot easier for me to just, yes, come online all the time, make my soup, and possibly also there are some people that might not have watched how we made the first soup, how we're making the second one. So I repeat my cooking so that if you didn't watch the first one, the first time I made it, you can watch it the second time I'm making it. You don't have to scroll down to my page to see that. So the uziza soup is almost nearing the end. Now let's see how it's doing. Yes, I am done with uziza soup now. Let me taste for. I want to be sure that the leaf is not too much. Yeah, it's not too much. You can see how the uziza soup is doing. I wish I can bring it close because you can see how well it's doing. I'm going to just test for salt at this time. Yeah, I think there's enough salt and enough pepper. Oh my, I love the spiciness. It's very, very spicy. If you don't like much salt, don't add salt like me, okay? Not so good. So the uziza soup is done. I'm just going to dish out some and show you guys while I just finish up with the oha soup. So this is done. I'm going to turn off the stove. It's done. Let's see how this one is doing. This is a much bigger soup. Yeah, it's done melting. Oh, it's almost not done melting yet. I'm going to wait for it to done melting before I add the thickener. So let me show you guys what this soup looks like. I want to just dish it in a small plate and show you guys. I don't even know where to dish it now. Where is that small plate I want to use to dish it? So let's dish it in this small plate. If I dish it here, I'm still gonna put it back, but let me show you guys what it looks like after making your uziza soup. Let me get my spoon and show you what it looks like. So this is not the plate typically I'm using. You can see how thick it is. I'm still going to return the soup anyway, but let me just show you guys. It's easy peasy, but just know the steps to take to do it. It's very easy, but again, the steps is what matters. I'm going to come close. If you look at it, look at how thick this one is now. You can see how thick it is. So this is what uziza soup looks like. You see there's no oil floating around. There is no oil floating around, but it's thick, very colorful, just the way it should be. You can see that. Excuse me, I have this. It's really hot in here. You can see how colorful it is. So this is uziza soup. Uziza soup made in Ezindu's kitchen. You can see what it looks like. Typically, this is what it should look like by the time you are done. It's a very smooth process. Just know what to add, when to add it, and how to go about it. It's a very smooth process. This is what it looks like. Uziza soup, this is what it looks like. A very smooth process. Know how to go about it, and you're good to go. So this is done, and I'm just going to cover this up a bit. We're not cover it now. Let's focus on the oha soup. Let's finish up with the oha soup. Yeah, I think it's done melting. Now I'm going to add my thickener. It's done melting already. Just add my little thickener. Remember I said there are several ways you can use your thickener. Remember I said that I chose to use this way. There are several ways you can use your thickener when you're making your soup. So this is almost, I hope it doesn't get too thick. I hope so. I don't want it to get too thick. But let me cover it up and see what it will look like. Some people don't cover their soup at this point. That's okay if you don't want to cover it. It doesn't really make much difference anyway. But if you cover it, remove your cover after some seconds or a minute. It doesn't make much difference. So if you don't want to cover it at this point, you're good. If you still cover it, if you still cover it, is your choice. Yeah. I want to see how thick it is. So we are done for today, and I hope you guys love what you see. Should I add? No, I'm not adding more. No, I think it's fine. So I'm going to cover it for just a few minutes. Let me test for salt and see. I think it's okay with salt. I probably might want to add more pepper. This is Cameroon pepper. It's roasted already, so it doesn't matter when you actually add this. It's roasted already. So we are good with this one. You guys can see what it looks like. I said I added ice fish, roasted ice fish, because I want the flavor in the oha soup. I don't want it in uziza soup, so I didn't add it at all. So the difference between this soup now is oha taste or oha flavor and purely uziza flavor. That's the difference. Another difference is that I added some ogiri. So this one I didn't add to uziza soup. It's your choice. But otherwise, the cooking process is the same until towards the end of your cooking. That is when the difference comes. And yeah, we are done with this one. Okay, I think we are done with this. So for those that want to know how are you able to make two kinds of soup at the same time and end at the same time, this is the process. What goes in here is what goes in here. What goes in here is what goes in here. The difference is the quantity. And at the end of the day, when you're adding your leaf, the taste of oha soup changes and the taste of uziza soup changes. That is just basically the difference. So I hope I've been able to help you to see the difference. I hope I've been able to show you guys the difference, and hope you appreciate it. So I will spend more time to keep uploading my videos. It's taking some time, and I do this at my I will say almost at my leisure time, because I work. So it should never interfere with my job. That's the most important thing. So I try to spend time when I'm home in the evening to do some editing and post. So when I don't post sometimes easily, it's because I don't have much time to do that. But I would, with time, I will start spending more time to edit my videos. There are hundreds of videos I have edited that I can post, but I will be taking my time to do all the editing. It takes a lot of time. Other than that, I think we are done for the day. And I didn't show you guys this stuff. This is a special gift. It says Mr. Good Looking. Mr. Good Looking is cooking. This is a special gift from a special one, and I love it so much. Mr. Good Looking is cooking. I think so. And yeah, I love it. So this is going to become my new apron as I continue to come to the kitchen to cook. And hopefully you guys will continue to enjoy my cooking. And yeah, be fine, be safe. And it's really getting hot in here, but I'm almost done with everything. So I will see you guys during the week with my videos. Again, this is the hot soup, and this is the uziza soup I dished out. This is that soup I dished out from this one. I don't want to dish out the hot soup because it's close. You can see that, and we are all good to go. I will see you guys every day on my page, and most likely on weekends, on live stream every weekend. Thank you guys, and God bless you.